All right, Shalom. First of all, I just want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Rakah Kodash. Um, Double honor to the apostle GMS who were well, and peace and salutations to the Akim, the elect, hopefully elect, and the elect, pushing this truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you. I'm gonna start with 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, kind of backing off of my last video. And verse, I'm gonna actually skip backwards, I believe, too. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 11. For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies. Now them that are such we command and exhort by our Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, that with quietness they work and eat their own bread. But ye brethren, be not weary in well-doing. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not as an enemy, and admonish him as a brother. So this is basically talking about, last video was separating yourself from complete nigga. Cut him off. This is talking about a dude that's in the church who's just going off, but he has a space for repentance. It's a reconcilable difference, versus when you have irreconcilable differences with somebody. And you got to be able to, differentiate between the two. Because if you have an irreconcilable difference with a brother and you don't know it, but you spend so much time trying to reconcile, you will stress yourself out on levels that you won't even know if you've never been through it. Taking it from a camp who's had plenty of brothers fall out, kicked out, whatever you want to say, or maybe they got pride and say, no, we weren't kicked out, we were suspended and la 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 la. You're going to have issues with somebody that's just completely not reconcilable. Don't waste your time. But here it's talking about if you can reconcile. Read it again. It says, if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. Because there's sometimes you can just go off. Satan can hop up on you, and then Satan can hop right back off you. The flesh. We're in this flesh. So sometimes you can, because you're supposed to forgive your brother. But also there's some sin that, like, let's say if you got a brother in your camp, and let's say you bring your woman over or whatever, and then the woman, being a wicked ass bitch that she is, fucking has sex with your own brother. And hey, brother, you supposed to forgive. Nuh-uh, we don't play that shit. Ain't no. That's a difference. It's called irreconcilable. A nigga like that has to be. There is no, Satan just hopped on me. Brother, you gotta forgive me, brother. That's some shit like that. So don't be an idiot in this truth. There's some stuff that you just don't forgive. Something like that, you just say, I forgive you in the kingdom. Because you got niggas that walk in the church, they want to cause confusion and stuff like that. They are waiting for anything that they can do, to try to push that envelope. You end up forgiving a brother like that. Now, this is an extreme example. Now, mind you, there are examples of irreconcilable differences that are not as extreme. That just happens to be the absolute extreme, But you can have a brother, that, let's say he's stupid enough, who forgives, and then, he ends up keep doing it. Sometimes you got to admonish a brother so he can be ashamed. But this has to do with differences that are reconcilable. Verse 14, and if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not as an enemy. Though don't count him as an enemy. But, again, stressing very clearly is that this is talking about reconcilable differences. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. Now Yahweh of peace himself give you peace, always by all means. Yahweh be with you all. The salutation of Paul with my own hand, which is the token of every epistle, so I write. I said I was going to skip back earlier.
I'm about to clean up out there. If there's anything y'all don't want thrown away, y'all gotta grab it.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to skip back like I said. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 6. Now we command you. Now, personally, what I like to do with my sword is when the scriptures says it gives a command, I like to put like a little red little circle next to it. You know, like I color coordinate and highlight, you know, my Bible. You know, like precepts that deal with reincarnations are in orange, you know, and such scriptures dealing with Yahweh Shai are in lime green. You know, then I put like tiny little red marks, like a little red circle next to commands. And this is a command, not a Mosaic commandment that you're not going to see in Deuteronomy, Exodus, Leviticus. But nonetheless, it's a command. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which we received of us. So this is a command. So every brother that does not walk disorderly, and you, after you in this truth, you gotta in this truth for a while. You walk in this faith. You understand what disorderly is. Disorder. All right, for instance. You know what order is. Order is following certain things. Now, the prefix dis means against. So disorder would be against order. So brothers always constantly going against orders. You know, doing whatever the hell he wants to do. You know, and basically marching to the beat of his own drum when everybody dancing to the harp. And this nigga, dancing to the flute or whatever. Ready it says, now we command you, brethren, in the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after tradition which he received of us. So note that last part said the tradition that he received from us. Now, you got people in the world that walk disorderly, but they're in the world. So this isn't talking about them, because they didn't receive the tradition from us yet. So, like, we were always walking disorderly in the world. So it's not talking about if you see a brother in the world just walking disorderly, don't even deal with that brother. No, this is for a brother who's received the tradition from us, which this is talking about once they've come into the truth, they know how to conduct themselves. Let's say you got a brother that all of a sudden now he's smoking weed. He didn't learn that tradition from us. He know better. But a nigga that's in the world or brother in the world, he don't know no better. You deal with him different. He didn't receive that tradition from us. So you would deal with him differently as opposed to a brother that's in the church who knows better, and rolling up a blunt right in front of you and smoking it and trying to pass it out. That's disorderly right there. That ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after tradition which he received of us. For yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we behaved not ourselves disorderly among you. Neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail of night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. Not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an ensample unto you to follow us. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. So that's another thing, not to just be leeching off brothers, and whenever you got a chance to, because sometimes you are going to need brothers, but whenever you get a chance to, you pay it back, and most of the time brothers won't even remember when you help them, or they might even even late it to cause, but still You be mindful. You know, just like how you remember a nigga in the world or a nigga in your church did something wicked, remember brothers that did righteous to you, you know, that helped you. You know, because of the nature of this captivity, sometimes you can't always help out immediately. Sometimes you can only help on maybe, you know, financially. Sometimes you can maybe help in other ways, but that's just the nature of it. But this is talking about not, you know, being a fucking, intentionally being a leech. You know, saying, you know, we not, shit, I got the brothers, they're gonna do all this shit for me. You know, you don't do that, you know. And whenever you get your opportunity, you know, you help as much as you can. You know, it's just like the woman with the that gave her mics. You know, you had people that gave more money than her, but yeah, I wish I said this one woman that gave one mic. She said she gave more than all of y'all because she gave everything she had. You know, you can't ask a brother to give more than what he has as well at the same time. You know, so this is all through, you know, the spirit of giving. And you know, this is what being orderly is. Because you have brothers, we've had unfortunate experience of having brothers who would help you, and they make sure they let everybody know they helped you, how much they helped you and stuff like that, and even sometimes lie about helping you. You know, you have niggas like that that's gonna walk in this camp of GMS. You know, because the apostles say it, I'll say it, everybody say it. You got niggas in GMS. You got niggas that get kicked out of GMS, and Satan is gonna want to be around the hopeful men of the Most High to bring confusion. That's how Satan operates. You know, all the way going back to the garden. You know, he likes to lie, put that little seed in your head. And on that note, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and double honors to the apostles. Shalom.